Please don't ask me for my age. Nobody should ask me for my age. I'm young as I look. Okay. I asked the question. Are we still open-minded? Okay. If we're still open-minded about that, so let me throw these assertions that it's a matter of perspective. If we believe that the way marriage was 51 years ago is the same way marriage is now, could that be right or wrong? Mommy said wrong. No, my mom wasn't home.
Okay, you said that marriage before now.
Yes.
Was 100% the woman.
Yeah.
The man was for the family.
Yes.
So we know that both of them, most of the time, both of them are working because the economic situation is that likely that both of you have to work in order to bring your resources together to be able to look at after the home and after the children who have brought to this world. So,
Okay. There's a Salah. She said that's her own opinion. This thing I happen to notice just now. The elderly people want to talk, and we the younger ones, we don't want to say anything.
I'm an old man, and I recognize one thing. You see, yes, I am now. You see, the core values of marriage remains as sacrosanct as it is. You see, the core values remain as it was more than 1,000 years ago. So it is up to the moment. Nothing changes in it. The values, the core values, Islamic values, remains as sacrosanct as it was then and even now. But you have these cosmetic elements, you know, just cosmetics. There's not the core kind of a thing. You can bring any amount of innovation into marriage. It doesn't matter. But then the core values, sacrosanct values, Islamic values, remains as constant as ever. And one of the prime values of this marital institution, as ordained by Allah, is the mutual fidelity.
He said it's mutual fidelity. Okay, wait. The young ones. Okay.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to be a bit disagree with our father. Yeah, the marriage value, the institution as it is and as ordained by Allah and Islam remains the same. But the human that drives the marriage now, we are there's a kind of development that we are going through that makes it differ from what it used to be in the past. There's a kind of generational difference in terms of interaction, in terms of how we do things. During the times of our parents, mostly their marriage were contract for them. Nowadays, most of us, you search, you see, and agree. Even where parents ask you or introduce your wife or spouse to you, you kind of, that's your time. The time has gone. So this kind of attitude is there. Two, the expectation that we have now, is it the same as the expectation we have? I mean, that our parents are. during their time. So it's like looking at the same house with different overview. That's why I have to agree with much respect, sir. Thank you.
Jazakallah khairan, sir. Okay, before I give this mic to another person, let me ask it this way, or say it this way. For most of us, some of us who are still single, the question is this: what are the key things that would... The sweet thing is this: Islam has made it mandatory for us to get married. Once you don't fall into the very slim category of people that cannot get married. So fine, okay, I don't have the means, I don't have the resources, the money is not there, we are still hustling, things like that. But to the core of it, what are those values as an individual that strikes out for you to uphold a marriage? Because whether we like it or not, I could talk of my own elder brother. When he got married, I think his salary was 53,000. Okay, fine, he's not in Abuja, he's in Ibadan. Probably it's a bit easier. But yes, his salary was 53,000. And he got married, and the guy is doing fine. Although his house rent for a 3-bedroom flat is the same thing we may pay here for a self-contained. But yet, relatively, he's okay within his own space. And he said the core value for him is this. He's someone who loves space. He loves his own cave time. Very introverted. So, but for us as individuals, now I've moved away from this section. These are the elderly people, and I don't want them to talk again. For now. I'm coming back, man. Okay, but as those who are growing, core thing that for some people it's not even the money, it's just the fear. Like, you now have one woman now, you'll not be able to go out when you want again. I know some people who play football even in the evening. They'll close from work, go and play football, then go home and just rest. But now when there's a contract of marriage, those times you have for yourself are cut out. So as an individual, probably a younger chap from a different generation, if I'll put it that way, what are those core things for you in marriage? Or what are those core things you are looking out for in marriage? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As a young lady, single, the core things I think I want and I hope for in a marriage is the love and understanding that used to be there in those days. Because some of us have been fortunate to see the bad side of our parents' marriage, and we are scared of making the same mistakes. For those things that happened, maybe a violent household, divorce, or one thing or the other, most of us young ones are scared and want to succeed and make our home better with much love and understanding because of the future of the younger ones coming. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khairan. Oh, coming up.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, brother, Shitu asked us to speak, and we are speaking. I personally want to share experience for our parents here to be aware of it, and also to our singles here. I have been into 4 relationships, and all of these relationships I've tried as much as possible to keep it Islamic. My first relationship, I never told the lady that I like her. I formally made an ustaz to tell the parents that this is my intention towards her. But she sees it as a vague, something out of, something out of the, and she started showing behaviors, and the parents asked me to leave everything. Secondly, second relationship, same thing. That actually, she's interested, parents are interested, but unfortunately, she has gene issue, and the parents asked me that if I can't cope, I can't go out of the relationship. And my parents advised me not to go into it, despite the love is there for both of us. Third relationship. I met her, and I told her that I want to meet her parents. She said, give me time. And I gave her time. She talked to her mom. And her mom asked her, what tribe is the guy? And she told her the tribe, and she's not interested in the tribe. And up to this moment, we are still battling and praying. Perhaps Allah could change things. Yes, the last, but not the least, relationship. Yes. I actually saw her, and she's a cousin to my cousin brother. Cousin to my cousin brother. And we are so close. I told my other brother, I saw this lady and I like her, and please, can you talk to her parent for me? And he said, okay, I will do that. And he did it. We're good, we are in good time, speaking, talking, because the parent actually gave me a go-ahead. But she also asked me to give her time. And in the process, all of a sudden, she said, this cannot work out. No reason. Oh, and we are still in it. The family are so interested in our relationship. My family also are also interested. Just last week, her dad called me and told me that I should not worry, we should keep on contacting each other. What I'm trying to narrate, why I'm trying to narrate this to us is that some of our parents might be so interested in a brother because he's so Islamic, because he's a very good brother, righteous brother, and outspoken. But your kid, your daughter out there, don't like that kind of a brother because they want a brother who love to go out with them on skates, who love taking out on birthdays, and we are not brothers like that because we want to keep it Islamic. We are, sometimes you find like one or two parents interested in you to come to their house, to seek their daughters in marriage because they see things in you that they want you to be part of the home, but their daughters are not seeing so. This is a challenge that our mothers, please, you should also look at this. And sometimes mothers control the heart of the daughters. Please, sometimes you should tell them, money is not everything. As Brother Shitu said, we are not working, but we are entrepreneurs. If Allah can make me to feed myself and my younger ones to some extent, I'm paying my bills, paying house rent, paying NEPA bills, and water. At least I can feed somebody. But a sister who said, I have a high taste. You can't take care of me. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, now the hands are coming. I guess we touched the hot spot.
Assalamu alaikum. So, I don't know his name, but inshallah, brother, may Allah provide you a righteous spouse very soon. But
I mean,
just to contribute to what he said, I mean, I feel your pain, but, and I see the advice you are trying to give mothers to try and sway their daughters to marrying brothers that because they are really, really righteous, they should give them a chance. The righteousness is in your heart, It's not something tangible. You may be appearing righteous. I mean, we've heard stories of brothers who are outwardly religious and look righteous, and they have the prayer marks and the longest beard, and they can recite from the Quran, but they have really bad character traits. So people are trying to be careful. It's nothing personal. I believe it's nothing personal with you. If you are in the Quran, we've been told that good men are for good women, and good women are for good men. So have no doubt that you will find somebody that is written by Allah for you. But in general, I think people are scared, because I know, for example, personally, like I think marriage is very delicate, and people shouldn't rush into it, or people shouldn't judge based on what a person looks like and say, oh, he looks religious, so he's definitely religious. I think we should just be careful. Even some of the sisters you're seeing, you probably dodged a bullet. You probably dodged four bullets. So I think that's one point. The second point is, my mother cannot convince me to marry somebody. I love her dearly. She's sitting beside me. But she can't tell me now that, oh, this brother is very religious. I think you should marry him. Are you the one that is going to live with him? It's me. I'm the one that is going to see him at his worst. And if I come out and say, Mommy, oh, he's emotionally manipulative, she may ask me, but does he beat you? Or, like, she can't see any physical evidence, you know? Most of our parents, sometimes, they don't understand what you're saying because they can't see any physical evidence of abuse. We've heard of sisters who are in emotionally abusive relationships. Your husband just doesn't speak to you for months. You don't know what you've done. He's not beating you. He's paying bills. People are now, maybe another sister that is in a physically abusive relationship is looking like, yeah, what are you complaining about? My husband slaps me on a basis. Your own is not slapping you, he's paying, but you know what you're suffering. So we all have our personal fears, and may Allah bless you, may Allah provide for you, may Allah increase your sustenance. You'll marry a very lovely sister very soon, inshallah. Don't take it too hard.
Jazakumullah khairan for that. Okay, as goes to the Twitter society. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Interesting. It is out. Not. Like the coaches would say, there are different kind of people. Some people are auditory, some people are video, or digital. And so as much as that, before I go further, let me take your contribution, since you raised your hand.
I want to raise one suggestion, and it's basically concerning our parents, not always from us. Like me, I'm a Yoruba man, and with a lady from the north. So our parents are complaining that my state is far away from them, and they don't want to lead their daughter to Southwest. So I want to ask our parents, does it really count? Or is it against Islamic requirement to marry a lady? Because if I should wait for somebody from my state, and maybe I want to marry a Yoruba lady, I don't know how many years I will wait. Yes, that's the truth, because I have a taste, and it's not anywhere I can get that taste. Yes, it's the truth. If they can deny me or having her, I don't know what will happen. And I met that lady in a Binocom program they host in April. Even that very day, I wasn't interested in her, but I just exchanged number with her on a normal ground. But later on, I noticed she have a good character, and she have everything I want in a woman. If not for the parents' side now, at least you have gone far, at least. But inshallah, with prayer, I'm sure what matter will accept my brother.
With prayer, everything is possible. But for some of us who are younger, just quickly go back to the Twitter community. I saw a tweet from someone, I can't remember who precisely. I think this was a statement of, okay. Before we introduce our DG, let me finish this one, Amon. This was a statement of Minister of Power, who said we give too much responsibility to God. He said we give too much responsibility to that. If we pass an exam, if we want something new, we thank God. If we buy a new car, we thank God. So even if we want change, we still thank God for it. So is there a level of complacency within us as humans that we're not taking responsibility for our own life. But before we have the DG of ICICE here, who will take his speech, and after that we'll take the first discourse, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى أهله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We are most grateful to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, most gracious, most merciful, and we thank the organizers of this program, all the volunteers, all the coaches, and the counselors that are here present, and all the ICICE counseling team for having put together this, our sitting, under the Directorate for Arts, Counseling and Culture, and also under ICICE, International Center for Islamic Culture and Education. I want to quickly, because we are running behind schedule, I want to quickly introduce the DG, that's the Director General of ICICE, International Center for Islamic Culture and Education. ICICE, like we all know, is an international organization situated and established in Nigeria, meaning that the scope of ICICE is worldwide, inshallah. And our DG has been in the work of da'wah for a very, very long time, let me say for decades. And he has been in UK for a long time. The Islamic organizations there, the Islamic Muslim Forum, he was the Amir for so many years. And after over 15 years in UK, he came back to Nigeria, and he was the CMD Director General, that is Center for Management Development, DG, for 8 years. And that happened to be the first person in the history of CMD to complete 2 tenures of 4 years each. So it is after the DG's retirement as the DG of CMD that he decided to focus his attention on what he started doing so many years back, that is in the field of da'wah, and is now continuing that da'wah activity full-time as the Director General of ICICE, International Center for Islamic Culture and Education. So this program has been organized by a directorate under the DG with the supervision and his ideas and motivation that this kind of program should continue to hold here. And that is why we have the honor and privilege of the DG coming around to see what we are doing and to give us some words of advice and admonition that's going to be a lead towards what we are here seated to do. If you listen attentively to what the DG is going to say to us, you will have listened to 90% of what we are going to discuss here today. Please, distinguished brothers and sisters in Islam, coaches and counselors, al-hajis and hajiyas, married and single, which other one should I add? Yeah, whatever and whatever. Please join me to welcome Al-Haji Dr. Kabir Kabo Usman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, sir.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Brothers and sisters, I greet you with the sincere greetings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I have heard what my brother has said about me. It was very elaborate introduction. But I wanted to say that I am still very jealous, about his role and participation in making sure that we see marriage as an essential commodity for investment that brings about human survival in a very cogent, cohesive, and responsible society. So for that reason, I was trying to summarize, the occasion, and I'm saying I'm jealous because he made eloquent speeches. I wish I could be here to listen to him too, to say more of what he's going to say. So all I need to say is that, you see, on behalf of the management staff, of the International Center for Islamic Culture and Education, the organizers of this noble workshop, the seminar, and likewise the esteemed participants, gentlemen of actually the social media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I say good afternoon to you all. It is a great honor and a privilege for me to stand in front of you, for given the opportunity by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to officially present these few remarks to you at this workshop, especially with the caliber of people that are joining the sessions, today. May the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be bestowed, upon our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his reverend family, companions, including those who step their path, to the day of judgment. I am here just to give you some opening remarks to make sure that I declare the seminar stroke workshop open. It is about investment in marriage. And all marriages, no matter how good, can be better. There is no perfect marriage. It doesn't exist. I have not seen it between myself and my family. I have not seen it between my parents. Nor have I seen it between my sisters and brothers, and friends. And I'm sure you can recall the story of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he had issues, with his family. He said, I'm going to be away from you, for 1 month. And when the Prophet ﷺ came after 29 days, one of them said, it's not 1 month yet. He said, this month is 29, it's not the 30 days. So you can see that nobody escapes, the challenges of marriage. We have to accept it. It is divine, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's a blessing, it's also a test. And so in that context, as we are speaking now, I said to the brother that I was looking at some various statistics, particularly in the UK. You see, the rate of divorce in the UK is gone down. Arguably, what are the reasons for that? Most likely, it is the fact that there are less people getting married, because that's what happened in that country. Or else people are getting, their senses, or getting married when they are more matured, when there is better understanding, and Allahu Alam. But certainly between 2016 and 2017, there were less divorce by about 5%, in the UK. And in the US too, it's going down. It's going down because if you get 1,000 married couples, the rate of divorce is about 3.2%. So it simply means there has been a significant decrease, because in 2008 to 2016, the number, of divorces have gone down by 18%. So there is something that is happening. Maybe people are accepting Islam, they are understanding the deen, they are understanding the role and responsibilities of each other. And also, if you look at it in United Arab Emirates, it's the opposite. The rate of divorce is going up. You go to Saudi Arabia, the rate of divorce is going up. And you come to Nigeria, there isn't a very valid statistics, but what we can see anecdotally, the rate of divorce is going up. So we don't understand why as Muslims, we should allow the rate of divorce to be going down and down, because we are now jeopardizing the credibility of marriage. Because you see, about 0.2% of men in Nigeria, they ask for divorce, as compared to 0.3% of women. So there are more women asking for divorce. You see the men asking for divorce. But I always want to advise the men, whenever the woman asks for the divorce, say, please, let's settle. Let us try and see how we can really solve our problems, because it's just a temporary solution. Particularly when you have children, that problem is never going to go away. So that's it. And in another context as well, what is the reason for the increase of divorce in Nigeria? And when I was looking at the literature, I found 15 reasons. So I wanted to make sure that you take note of those reasons, and you make sure that you are not in any of those. Any of those reasons should not apply to any one of us here. And one of it is actually, you see, lack of preparation. You jump into a relationship, you get married the next day, you understand you made mistakes. That's not good. And the second one is lack of relationship, because you realize that somebody is not well, somebody needs to be tested, so there isn't compatibility. And also there is lack of communication. So sometimes you conceal things, you keep things away from each other, and then it brings a lot of communication gap. And in other contexts also there is abuse. Particularly, hitting the wife and all other things that are not really acceptable in Islam. And there is also unfaithfulness. People have a relationship, outside marriage. And in another context, number 6, there is high expectation. People have high, I'm marrying this because of this. I'm marrying this lady because her father is rich. So notably, I'm going to be getting, some proceeds and other things. So it's like, of course, investment, as we have said. Or even vice versa. Somebody will take a car, borrow a car from a friend, got a spouse, and all those kind of things are really happening. That is very, very high problem for us. There is also number 7, lack of trust. And of course, interference, from the third party. Either the mother or the father or the brother or the sister are always interfering in all those kind of things. And of course, number 9, there is the money matter. Okay, you are working, you must contribute. It is the responsibility of the man. I'm sure you will deal with issues. It's the responsibility of the man to look after the wife, not the other way around. But because she is working, you are putting your eye on whatever she is earning, and that causes a lot of problems in terms of money matter. And number 10, there is the age difference. Sometimes it's recommended, there should be marriage when there is a little bit of gap, so that there is some element of maturity. But if you are all young and you see things in the same way, the heaven can fall, nobody cares. And then you pay the price, in the future. And then there is this issue about lack of children. If you cannot produce children, so sometimes amicably divorce takes place because of infertility and other things like that. And there is another one, which is to do incompatibility. After you got married 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you realize you are not compatible. You want to go Islamic way, the person doesn't care, or vice versa. Then there is a problem. You see, and then of course number 13 is lack of proper courtesy, lack of proper coaching, and this is exactly what Abdul Pasar is trying to bring about, because there is no guidance. You don't know what you are going into. It's a life investment. The marriage is for life. It's not a temporary thing, and all other things like that. And in some cases there is lack of exposure too. And the last one is lack of patience. We don't, we have to tolerate each other and respect each other and trust each other and have some sense of discipline and integrity in relationship to each other. The issue of this marriage, it is divine. It is an ibadah. If people don't see it as an ibadah, they see it as something else, then that creates a problem. So, as I'm saying, at least these are the kind of 15 areas that need us to, to have a lot of weight of that. So in other contexts, I'm talking about marriage as an investment. Well, in the process of marriage, we all know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran and Hadith, they are going to talk to you about those details. And likewise about the dowry. We all know the story about dowry, about Sayyidina Umar. You know, one woman came and they were saying he was going to cap, you know, the amount for dowry. He said the Prophet ﷺ didn't do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't do it. You said, now Umar, you cannot just cap, you know, dowry and so on. And he withdrew. And then allow it to be at whatever amount that is going to be possible. But at least there is a minimum. So it's really important in that context. And of course, divorce. We all know that, yes, it is one of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed, but at least is trying to tell us to exercise patience, you know, and restraint. Because if we go through that route, you know, we know it's very traumatic. It affects the children, it affects relationship, it affects the family, and so on. But Allah said it should be done as a last resort. So on this note, you know, as we speak now, marriage, you know, are being dissolved. You all know about all these things. And these are the problems. Why do you need, you know, this investment as a single lady or a single brother? You will learn how to invest in yourself. So this is about investment. And because you are sacrificing your life. You are sacrificing your life because you intend to live with someone. There are two individuals, but they are trying to be one. It's going to be very difficult without compromise. So I have to accommodate you, and you also have to accommodate me. So in this respect, I just don't want to talk too much about that, but I will just say that we has already talked to you about what we are doing, what we will continue to do, and what we are equally saying is that we should try and raise, you know, the understanding and the knowledge, you know, of both male and female about understanding what they are going through. Ladies and gentlemen, taking cognizance, you know, on these issues, we will now need to say that whatever we have learned, you know, from today is something that we need to be put into practice. Okay, I therefore urge each and every one of you, you know, to get the best out of this workshop stroke seminar by attending all, you know, and listening attentively, you know, for whatever we are going to discuss and the questions that are going to be asked and the answers that are going to be given, you know, and the rest of it. And more than ever, Nigerians need men and women not only skilled, but who are also tolerant, who have self-awareness, who are emotionally intelligent, who are very patient and responsible. So we look forward to your contributions, you know, in the future. And I wanted to remind you by what some of the quotations of like Nelson Mandela. He said, education is a great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of the mine worker, you know, can become the head of mine, and that a child, you know, of a farm worker can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given. That, you know, separate the person, you know, one person from another. So I am saying that, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, you know, the opportunity to get married so that we can build up, you know, the Muslim Ummah, and from greater strength to greater strength, and so on and so forth. So in this respect, I would like to see very, very active participation, you know, by all the members, and I would want you to please take away whatever you have learned in the process and put it into practice. So, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Sadaqallahu al-azim wa balagha rasulul kareem. I wish you a very sincere and fruitful deliberations. And on this note, I wish to formally, you know, declare the seminar stroke workshop open. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you. And we have got a prize to give. Who was the first person to be here? Who was the first person to turn up? The first person to arrive. Huh? The first person to arrive. Not the last person to arrive. Eh? All right, where is she? Can you come, please? The first person to arrive. Yes, please come. Eh? Okay, where is she? So please come. And this is just a token gift for being here as the first time to attend. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you, inshallah. Allahu Akbar. And also the second one, because we have only a gold medal and a silver medal, we don't have a wood medal. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you for coming early. Thank you. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you.
Takbir. Thank you very much, DG Dr. Kabir Kabo Usman, Jazakallah Khairan. And those books given out by the DG, those are some of his numerous books he has written. That particular one is about, what's the title? Something about wisdom. Yes. So you see at ICIC a lot of things are happening, and I want to encourage all of you to please try. This is just a tip of the iceberg of so many more programs that ICIC has lined up in place. You shall be given the details of that as time goes on, especially for those of you who registered your name. I hope everybody wrote their own name, not somebody else's name. Did you put your own phone number, the one that is working? Aha. Yes, you know, you can be called at any time. You can be notified of whatever is going on at ICIC anytime. And everybody here present is an ICIC family. So please, at any point in time, feel free to walk up to the center, ask your questions, try to find out what is going on. There will be workshops, there will be seminars, and should I tell you another one? Should I tell you? Wait for it, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. There will be scholarships and there will be job opportunities. If you don't come, you will not know. And if you don't know, you don't know. And it is those that know that knows. Say takbir for that. So don't just come here, pray Jumat, and go away. Walk into the ICIC office and ask, waiting they happen. I hope you understand. With the phone numbers we have, we are going to talk to the ICIC counseling team to ensure that they post whatever is coming up, whatever is happening, whatever is going on. And let me give you one gist like that. We have in our midst here the Director for External Relations. That is the person of Alhaji Garba Sani. He has been in the UK for close to 30 years, if I have not exaggerated. More than 30 years. Please stand up for recognition, Alhaji Garba Sani. Takbir. Yes, he has been in UK for over 30 years and has participated in almost all of the Islamic organizations there. So he knows where the scholarships are coming from. He knows where the opportunities are coming from. And within here in Nigeria, he has linked ICIC with many expatriates, the Dubai, UAE, Emirates. In fact, they just chat with each other with the ambassador anytime, anyhow. And then there are so many of them like that, the Egyptian embassy, Moroccan embassy, US embassy, and of course, he is a UK citizen. So I'm sure I'm sure he knows Margaret Thatcher. Let me put it that way. So please, you see, if you just keep away, you just pray and go away, you'll be missing a lot. And there are some of these opportunities that are for young people, some of them for married couples, some of them for individuals who want to go into entrepreneurship. If we don't come around to ask what is happening, they will not come to your house to come and tell you. So whenever you see the announcement of ICIC to say, come for so and so thing, make sure you come and make sure you write your name and number like you just did today. Later, somebody can just call you and say, please, can you please forward your CV? We want to know if you can participate in ABCD. We have the ICIC Muslim Artist Community, for example. Recently, about 3 of the members of that community have been sent to China by the Chinese embassy because they are artists. They went to participate in some workshop or the other. And then the ones for UAE will be there, the one for Saudi Arabia will be there. So please, and please, if they include you on a particular WhatsApp group, don't remove yourself because you don't know what you are going to understand. Some people say, no, I don't do WhatsApp. Then you'll be there making dua. The angels will just be looking at you that, where did they do this one? You want opportunity, but you don't want to participate. So we have a lot of volunteer groups, ICIC Hope Group. We have ICICE Marriage Counseling Group like this one. And we have ICIC Muslim Artist Community. We have ICIC mentoring group, ICIC youth entrepreneurship group. As time goes on, you will find yourself in any of these ones so that you know waiting the. Hey, thank you very much. So on that note, without not taking much of our time, I would like to crave for indulgence to let's give a chance to the DG to go back to his other numerous assignments. We are honored already that he took his time to come here and give us this speech. And like I introduced Director of External Affairs, there are other directors who could not make it here because of other engagements. But nevertheless, you shall be hearing more from them as time goes on. And so that whatever opportunities we have, everybody will be able to participate and know what is going on. Job opportunities, that bulletin that you just saw now, the DG is the chief executive of that too. And there are so many job opportunities and scholarships that will be posted into that. If every week or every fortnight you don't receive it, come to ICIC and ask, where are your bulletins? Because you will see a lot of things posted there. If you don't read it, you will not know what is happening. So may Allah make it easy for us. Thank you very much again, DG. May Allah reward you abundantly. Alhamdulillah. Yahweh. Thank you very much, DG. Takbir. All right, let's continue with the Chitu.
Jazakumullah khairan to our fathers. Okay, a quick one. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, right? YouTube. Oh, okay. There is CRV Abuja KUJ 478A. It is said to be calling the owner's attention by making noise. CRV KUJ 478AG. The car needs the owner's attention. It is in noise, literally. Okay, like Ustaz Abdul Fattah said, so that we won't spend much of our time again. So we'll go to the first topic, which is talking about the business of self-investment. And that wouldn't be handled by any other person, but a well-reputed relationship coach. Is a rational thinker, is a philosopher. Literally, we call him the philosopher king. Not that I'm doubting it, I just wanted to be sure some of us are on the same level. So we call him the philosopher king, and I would be glad to give the mic to Brother Abdul Razak Oloyede.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I need to celebrate my mentor here seated. This talk today is just like, should I say, an assignment for me. You know, when you are seated with your mentor and you want to present. So it's just like, it's one way or the other examining what you want to say. So inshallah, as they are doing the introduction, I heard so many people talking about philosopher. Is it the case that I'm popular? Anybody that knows philosopher here, let me just see his hand. And you know what? I don't want to be popular. Yes, I want to be famous. You know the difference between being popular and being famous? Anybody can do anything crazy and will be popular. But when you are famous, you must have impact in the society. So who want to be famous like me? So, mashallah. Let's do a little bit of philosophy before we start. Should we? Okay, I actually studied philosophy. That's why they call me Philosopher King. And one way or the other, we do student politics. So I happen to be, I will not tell you that. All right. Let's do a little bit of philosophy. Let me take us to a journey and see how far we can think. The motto of philosophy is, man lives to think, and man thinks to live. So we are thinkers. I want to ask this question. When I was going to Lagos yesterday, okay, in fact, I will use the whole hall. So I don't miss. When I was going to Lagos, I said yesterday, I saw a man with 7 wives. Each wife has 7 sacks. Each sack contains 7 kids, 7 cats. Each cat has 7 kittens. How many are we all going to Lagos? I should repeat it. Okay. Okay, I didn't tell you should hold your pen and paper. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm repeating now. When I was going to Lagos yesterday, I saw a man with 7 wives. 7 wives. Each wife has 7 sacks. Each sack contains 7 cats. Each cat is too much. Each cat has 7 kittens. How many went to Lagos? It's just me. Some people have started calculating. That is the philosophy in you now. Okay, let me give you one before we go again. I was in the hospital, and there was an accident that happened. They rushed this young boy into the hospital. Then we just heard the father was calling the surgeon. When they were now saying, where is the surgeon? He was now saying he's going to the surgeon office. He now met a nurse. He was now talking to the nurse. Excuse me, I'm looking for the office of the surgeon. Now, what comes to my mind was, I just want us to guess. If you are asked what is the name of the nurse and what is the name of the surgeon, just one person. The name of the nurse and the name of the surgeon. Who can just tell me one name that comes to your mind? Which one is the philosopher? The nurse or the surgeon? The nurse or the surgeon? Just give me a name now that comes to your mind. You don't get it. What is the name of the nurse that you met? Fatima. Thank you. What is the name of the surgeon that? You know the way they said Abdul Mumin? There is this picture that every surgeon must be a man. Is every surgeon a man? Why did Abdul Mumin come to your mind? Okay, thank you. This is just a little bit of philosophy anyway. The topic before me is to talk about marital delay. Marital delay, the business of self-investment. Marital delay, the business of self-investment. And I think more of this topic is going more to the singles. Is that not so? Those of you that are married, there is no marital delay anymore. Okay. But you see 1 or 2 things. When you see those red lights of marital delay, you know that there is something wrong here. That is the mothers. Then we now go to the business of self-investment. You see, the issue of marriage, the issue of relationship, when we look at universal problem in the whole world, the issue of marriage comes to top 3. The universal problems of the whole world, everywhere in this world. You can see when he was giving us statistics of divorce here and there. So the issue of marriage comes top 3 of the problem that is universal everywhere you go to. It's not Muslims that have problems. We say, why is it that only Muslims, they don't do this, they don't do that. Go to other religions, they have that problem as well. I happen to be in one WhatsApp group that is a Christian group, though I disguise anyway. So I start seeing them that, they even have this problem more than we do. You understand? They have this problem more than we do. So marriage has to come to first 3. Which one is the first one? When you say financial problem, it's everywhere. Is that not so? It's everywhere. The second one is health problem. That one too is, in fact, people apostated their religion because of health. Is that not so? Then the third one is marriage. And that's why the issue of marriage must be taken seriously. So when we look at marital delay, the word delay, you know what it means, to delay something, not to happen. We have 4 types of marital delay. And about 25 or 30 reasons why there are marital delay, if we have enough time anyway. The 4 types of marital delay, the first one, I call it the self-imposed delay. Self-imposed delay. This one is when this delay is caused by you. You know, there are some brothers or there are some sisters, once they have all the influence around them, they still want to enjoy life a little bit. When you see a brother now, you say, no, I'm not ready. No, it's not time. I don't want to marry now. I don't want to marry now. Then you start growing up. When you now become 30, 35, 40, you now start looking for brothers. Where are they? So your delay is self-imposed. The case is like the case of a pepper seller in the market. In the morning, they price pepper, you say no. In the afternoon, you say no. So when it is in the night, say, anybody just come and take it. Anybody come and take it. Mashallah. So self-imposed delay. The second one is called circumstantial delay. This is not caused by you, it's caused by what? Circumstances. You know, circumstances causes it. Let's take, for instance, a sister has been dating this brother for a long time, like 2-3 years, they have been together. Then this brother got a scholarship, now went to the US. Has been in the US for like, people are coming to meet this sister, say, no, my guy is in the US, he's still coming, we still communicate. Just one day, she just said, give him a call, and a woman just picked the call. Said, no, I'm his wife. Wow. Circumstantial delay. Is that not so? That she didn't cause it on her own. Then the next thing is for her to start finding where to go to. Is that not so? We have seen in school, this campus relationship. I know of some relationship. Like, in fact, they gave them best couple in school. They are not married though, but they gave them best couple. You know, after school, everybody think they are going to marry. For where? when they all got to the inside world, everything changed. And he said, what's happened? Yeah, he said we are not compatible. He said this, he said this. Circumstantial delay. It's because you have already put in your mind somewhere and later it never worked. The third one is called spiritual intervention. Yes. Or divine restriction. Let me use that word, divine restriction. You see, whether you like it or not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the controller of the world, and in fact, He has our remote control. Is that not so? He has our remote control. If He says it's not time for you to marry, you cannot marry. If He says it's not time, if you rush in, you will rush out. So Allah said there is no time, and you are saying, no, I want to marry. No, I really know that the guy is handsome, the guy is this, the guy, no, he's so cool. No. Allah knows the difference between harming and charming. You know, you just see that is the difference. Eh? You say this brother is charming, but Allah says he's harming. So Allah knows that. So divine restriction. Allah can restrict you not to get married now because it's not yet time. Or else when you rush in, you rush out. That's another delay. So if Allah is delaying you, it is not your own fault. You have done what you are supposed to do, but it's not yet time. Then the fourth one, I call it satanic embargo. A'udhu billahi min zalik. Or you think it doesn't happen? It does. MashaAllah. Satanic embargo. In fact, there are people, they don't want you to get married. And they can do anything. They can go anywhere in order to stop you from getting married. You know what? Those people, she met a brother and they have been doing it. It's time for nikah. The brother just says it's not doing again. Wow. They met another one again. They are doing. The next one says it's not doing again. Ah, what is happening? She met another brother again. Hey, you see, I don't want. No, before you know it, he's not doing again. You just have to look at yourself. Something is happening. Is that not so? So that is the 4 category or 4 types of marital delay that we have. And these 4 types of delay, we now have several reasons. Okay. Oh, they say they are calling for prayer, so maybe we'll go for prayer and come back, inshallah. Should we stop now or? Okay, mashallah. Okay.
Inshallah, we should be back here by 4:10, inshallah. For the sisters, there is a restroom to the, okay, that's the extreme end of the other side. You could make wudu there and we could pray here. If we don't want to go